Imagine your business not just reaching its goals, but surpassing them. With Esquire Financing, that vision is not just a possibility, it's reality. Get the cash your business needs in as fast as 3 days, making your barriers become stepping stones. Our partnership is a sure success.
Running a business can be hard, but over 7 million people have found a way to make it easier with Odoo. Odoo's suite of business applications streamline, automate, and simplify your business. With user-friendly, intuitive, and fully integrated apps for CRM, accounting, e-commerce, manufacturing, inventory management, you name it, Odoo's got it. Stop wasting time with old software and start getting stuff done with Odoo. Get a free trial at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hi, everyone. This is PHILSME Business Show. My name is Benny, known as Benny Krishnan. I'm a sales director from Zoho. We have here Siva from Ksher Payments as well. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks, Benny. Hi, Margot. My name is Siva Ramanathan. I am the Senior Vice President and Chief Corporate Officer for Ksher. Ksher is a proud member of the PHILSME Business Network. Very happy to be here to
Thank you.
chat with you all.
Thank you, Benny, Siva. It is so wonderful to have you guys both here. And I just want to say, Zoho and Ksher Payments are both amazing, proud members of the PHILSME Business Network. And we've known you guys for a while, but it has been a while, so it's really good to reconnect with you too. And I would love to introduce you guys together. So thank you so much. And today, I would love to start off the conversation with just asking you, right? Benny, Siva, what are you looking forward to in the next few weeks?
So what I'm looking forward to in the next few weeks, ironically, it's not really too much to do with business, but more in my hobby. So many of you don't know, but I actually am a drummer in a band. And we are doing a fundraising show to raise money for orphans to be able to pursue their university and tertiary education. And also another charity is for a home for severely handicapped children. So I think part of being in business is also giving back. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And of course, on the business side of things, Margot, I think, over the course of this discussion, I'll share a little bit more about what we're doing, some developments in the Philippines. But on a personal level, I'm really excited about that.
Thank you, Siva. Siva, you're a rock star. Thank you for sharing that about you. Benny, do you have something to share as well?
Yes, Margot. With over 19 years in a sales and customer relationship management experience, I have collaborated with a diverse team across US, APAC, and ANZ markets. So I'm going to travel to different countries, especially to Australia, for the trade shows in 2 weeks. And then I'm the evangelist for the product. So we are going to explain how things going on, how Zoho is going to help the small businesses and all those stuff. I'm just going to do my job with full enthusiasm.
Thank you, Benny. Benny has such a busy, packed calendar, and I'm sure Siva, you're very busy as well. So thank you for spending some time with us today, and helping our listeners understand a bit more about how you guys can step in and help them with their businesses. So thank you, Benny, Siva. Again, we've known each other for quite a while. You have been involved with PHILSME for a little over a while as well. So my question is, what is your most memorable PHILSME experience or story?
So last year, we were participating on the 14th PHILSME Expo. So I was a keynote speaker there. So I was wearing a traditional attire during my presentation that is called a dhoti from India. So after the presentation, people came to the show and then they came to our booth and appreciated. That got attracted a lot, and people are very keen because the local people, they are giving very much respect for the culture which we show there. And we always talk about the Zoho's culture, and that has worked very well. And it's a fantastic feeling last time. Yeah.
Thank you, Benny.
Yeah, for me, I think like you, Benny, I was also at the exhibition, the conference, and I was part of a interesting panel discussion, sharing about how our purpose is to empower SMEs in Southeast Asia. But as you know, Ksher, or as you may not know, Ksher is actually a Chinese-founded company. And a lot of people were that came to our booth were surprised to find me, as far as Chinese as you can get, fronting this Chinese company, right? So that sort of novelty factor gave me an opportunity to explain to some of the attendees that whilst we have Chinese technology, I mean India is also very good for technology, back-end solutions, etc. But in order to do business in Southeast Asia and in order to really understand local people, you need to be localized. You can't have foreign people coming over here. So that was an opportunity for me, thanks to the expo, to be able to share that differentiator story. And actually, people were saying, "Oh, that's pretty good for a foreign company to have a Southeast Asian, running the show in the region." So thank you, PHILSME, for allowing that part to come out, and that got me thinking that this is actually quite a differentiating factor, right? So we're going to sort of build on that part as well. So yes, that's my experience.
Thank you, Siva. Thank you, Benny, for sharing your very real, amazing experiences with PHILSME, and thank you, Southeast Asia represent. So we love the representation. Thank you so much. So, but yeah, I wanted to throw the limelight at your companies, at your respective companies, with Zoho, with Ksher Payments. So we wanted to go back to your roots as well. So we just wanted to help our business owners understand. So my next question is, what kind of problems are you solving? Could you tell us a story?
Yes, of course. Today we are representing Begin by Zoho CRM. Even though Zoho has 60 plus applications, we took this one specifically for this event. And it is designed for solve key challenges faced by the small businesses. Because most of the businesses rely on spreadsheets, right? And many small businesses start with spreadsheet to track their customer interactions, but quickly outgrow them. But Begin provides an easy-to-use CRM to organize the contacts, deals, and the pipeline without the complexity of the traditional CRM. And a lot of companies today, like the startups or the entrepreneurs, like the lack of pipeline visibility and tracking. So that is the core mistake, core feedback which we are getting from the small businesses everywhere, especially in APAC, especially in Philippines. And the business struggle to track customer interactions and sales pipelines effectively. So there Begin comes in. It provides clear, customizable pipeline views to help teams to stay organized and close more deals faster. So that is most important for the sales, right? Because whenever you talk about the CRM, it's always talk about the sales, but it has difficulties integrating with other tools. There is a lot of products in the market, right? The CRM product, but the small businesses needs a CRM that works well with existing tools like the payments, which Shiva was mentioned about, or the email campaign, or the email, Outlook email, or the Gmail, which has to be integrated with it. So the Begin integrates seamlessly with Zoho apps and the other third-party apps like Google Workplace and Microsoft 365 as well. So this is widely created for the small and medium businesses, especially for the startups and entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Siva. To add on to that, what you're doing at Ksher Payments.
Yeah, so I think I shared last time, and I think Margot, you were there as well. Before Ksher, I was 5 years at AirAsia, the low cost airline in Southeast Asia, and AirAsia's really empowered a segment of the market to be able to fly. And hence their tagline, now everyone can fly, right? Because previously flying was for the rich, right? So Ksher, our tagline is now every SME can trade, right? I'm copying the theme of what AirAsia had done. But essentially that's what we're trying to do. You see, again, the pain point for cross-border trading is that, you need to have proper organizations, you need to have bank accounts, you need to be able to understand regulations and customs. But a lot of the SMEs, and I'm referring to not the large SMEs, right? I mean, in Southeast Asia, we have small SMEs who can't even qualify to open up a bank account, so let alone negotiate favorable forex rates, when they are selling, for example, a Filipino SME selling in Indonesia or in Thailand, where the customer is paying them in local currency, Thai baht or peso. How are they going to get the good rate? So we solve that problem for the SMEs, and that's very, very fulfilling. We started out, obviously, being a Chinese company by helping our Chinese SMEs to sell into Southeast Asia, and now we're taking it to the next step for helping Southeast Asian SMEs sell within the region. And we handle all of their banking infrastructure, the collections, and give them a simple dashboard to be able to monitor, transactions in different countries. So this is the value that we bring to the SME, and later on I'll share a collaboration that we have with Alibaba Group to actually enable smaller SMEs who don't have credit cards, who don't have Google Pay, whatever it is, to be able to trade very seamlessly. So that's the problem that we are solving for SMEs, in order to be able to source products and at a very cost-effective manner.
Thank you, Siva. Thank you, Benny, for sharing, just some of the problems that you're trying to solve for our entrepreneurs or business owners. But again, I would also like to help our listeners understand just a bit more about your offerings or your services. So I wanted to throw the limelight now at the solutions that you're offering. So could you share with us exactly how your solutions work?
Yes, Marco, for sure. Yes. So Begin by Zoho CRM. Begin is designed, as I mentioned before, it is designed to help the small businesses. And what we challenge is it is easy to set up for the small business. Like within 30 minutes, you can just set up your business online. So that is a very easy challenge, right? Because a lot of companies, the small businesses buy different products, and then they take a lot of time to get this customized, and then put a lot of efforts to set this up, and then going online with latest technology. It is taking a lot of time for the small businesses. So we challenge that it is easy to set up. Like you can set up everything within 30 minutes based on your customer, your company profile. And if you sign up for Begin, and you can choose pre-built industry-specific pipelines, the templates, right? If you are a real estate, or if you are into the car sales, or if you are into the mortgage, there is a templates already available, which you can just choose this, and then you can just start exploring on. And then the integration with the mail and phone system, which I mentioned before, and the business apps like Google Workplace, Microsoft 365, and the centralized communication together. These are all the pre-built integrations which we allow into the system. And you can automatically create a task and follow-ups, because none of your prospects are going to buy your product on the first day, right? So you have to do a lot of follow-ups. You have to make sure you're calling them on the right time. So creating a task and follow-ups is also most important. So ask for a sales is the mantra of sales, right? So we should ask for a sales. For that, you can use Begin to build in telephony to make calls, log conversations, and you can schedule follow-ups and all the stuff. And moreover, on this, we can just track and close deals faster, because imagine if you're going to talk to a prospect, right? And you're taking like 2-3 months to just to convey what your product do for them, how you're going to help them. Like it's take more time. So closing the deals faster is also most important than asking about sales. So you can use the visual pipeline view to track deals and move them through the stages. Like either it is on the initial stage, or it is on the engagement, or it is on the pricing negotiation. So you can just track it on phase by phase. And you can have real-time insights with reports and dashboards. So that is the analytics part, which is also a part of Begin by Zoho CRM, where you can just have all this into one thing. And what matters is the simplicity, affordability, and efficiency. So that is the thing. We keep that as a core point. That no steep learning curve business can get started under 30 minutes, and the low cost to compare to traditional CRMs. Right? which make it ideal and small teams. And this is the communication improvement productivity. So that is also most important. So the solutions which we are giving is the track by track, the stage by stage, and the follow-ups, closing deals, and not only the sales part. Any customer-facing teams, they can have a teams within Begin CRM. You can have your support team, you can have your onboarding team, you can have your pre-sales team, and the customer advocacy, marketing. You can have all your customer-facing team in one system, and you can just drag all in one round. So that is a great solution which the small businesses needs today, right? So we are doing that.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you. It's so nice to hear, a very detailed explanation and a very complex solution to be broken down into something simple that, a lot of entrepreneurs can understand. Thank you. Siva, would you like to share? Yeah. Would you like to break down how your services, how your solutions work as well?
Yeah. So our solutions, I'll break it down into two parts. The first part addresses the very small SMEs, like we spoke about earlier in the show, who don't necessarily may not have bank accounts, they may not have credit cards, the little small mom and pop kind of entrepreneurs, and how we have solved that problem by working very hard with Alibaba.com. As you know, Alibaba.com is the world's largest B2B marketplace with more than 200 million goods being sold every year. And that number is rising. And the second part is for the SMEs that are a bit more experienced in doing cross-border trading and sourcing goods, and may not necessarily need to go to a B2B platform. And I'll explain how we help them. So in the first instance, we spent, Margot and Benny, a long time trying to convince Alibaba.com. And bear in mind, we're a small startup, 5 years old, beginning to scale now. Why would Alibaba.com believe that we can increase sales for them in Southeast Asia, right? Actually, frankly, they don't really care much for Southeast Asia because the larger markets are in Europe, USA, and the other problem with Southeast Asia, as you know, we are very fragmented, right? We have 10 economies, 10 languages, 10 currencies. So in order to provide a consolidated, integrated solution, the solution provider must have the ability to do so. And as you know, everything is licensed when it comes to money movement. So we convince, and Alibaba.com, previously to our involvement, only accepted credit card for payments. So if you're a small SME and you want to open up a store in a wholesale market, for example, selling T-shirts, right? So you go to Alibaba.com and then you buy 100 T-shirts. You can choose to design whatever, right? But you can only pay with credit card, or you can only pay with Apple Wallet, or this large international wallets, which a lot of these small SMEs don't have. So we said to them, let us provide banking solutions, online solutions, where the customer pays in local currency. So the journey is like this. You're a small SME in the Philippines, and you go to Alibaba.com. Previously, you can only pay by credit card. Now you can select bank transfer, and you pay that in local peso currency. Okay. I'm encouraging the listeners here who are small SMEs who previously maybe did not go to Alibaba.com because they don't have a credit card. From January this year, all of Southeast Asia's payments is being powered for Alibaba.com is powered by Ksher. Okay. So today, if you go to, you're a small trader, you go to Alibaba.com, you can actually see one option to pay is bank transfer, and you pay in your local currency. And then we do the back end for, the payment to the merchants and doing all the settlement, et cetera, et cetera. So we're very much invisible, but we are there to solve the problem. And a lot of the work was trying to convince Alibaba.com that we would be your trusted partner, right? And of course, in doing all of this, we work with international banks. We work with Citibank, we work with Standard Chartered Bank, we work with a lot of banks who have onboarded us, and we passed through their KYC, right? So all of these solutions, which normally a small mom and pop SME cannot avail, can now be obtained through, I encourage you to go to Alibaba.com and start buying, because we are providing the solutions for you, and there's a lot of SKUs there for sale. So that's for the small SME part, right? For the larger SMEs, what we can do to them is, obviously being a China-centric company, we have the China supply chain. We can sort of assist them to find good merchants, right? And number two, we can provide them with the banking solutions, the local bank accounts for them to pay in order to buy, larger quantities from China. That is the first phase. And then the second phase is facilitating intra-ASEAN trading. So somebody from the Philippines now knows how to do trading. He buys a whole bunch of stuff from China either through Alibaba.com or through, directly with using our services. And then he can then start trading intra-ASEAN, to Malaysia, to Thailand, and then we can help them do the collection, between those Asian currency pairings. So those are the solutions that we've offered, and in a way to simplify SMEs from being able to trade globally. So I hope that answers the question, and I hope that the SMEs listening here, the smaller ones can explore Alibaba.com, and at the end of this, I will share our email contact address for anyone to contact us. Yeah, Margo,
Thank you,
is that
Siva.
okay?
Of course, it sure did. It answered our questions. Yeah. Thank you, Siva. I personally will be checking out Alibaba.com after this. And congratulations on the partnership. We're all about partnerships here at PHILSME. Thank you. Feel free to share your email and contact details in a little while. Thank you again for telling our listeners more about your company. But now I believe, and I'm very sure that most of our listeners will also be wondering just exactly how the company began, what its personal mission and vision is. So some people might wonder about the story behind your respective companies. Can you tell us how it started? Thank you, Siva.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So I think all great companies stem from a sense of purpose. Okay, and a lot of people sometimes. I'm sorry, this is going to take a long time. It's a very philosophical answer to the question, Benny. So please bear with me. Yeah? So a lot of times, sometimes your purpose doesn't align with your needs. So when we are young, when you have a young family, you need. I mean, let's face it. You need to earn money. You need to send your kids to school. You have your expenses, etc. Yeah. So I for my early years, I used to work for a corporate, just like the Ayala or the C Group. I worked for Ananda Krishnan, who was Malaysia's second richest man. He passed away last year, but it's a big conglomerate. Yeah. And because I was more interested in earning a decent salary. But as my children grew big, I decided that now I don't, money is not my main motivator. It's what you can give back. How can you help people that are less fortunate than you, right? And we all know, and that's how, over the course of my various journey, I love jumping on learning curve. That's why I joined AirAsia with zero experience about aviation. And, I had a successful 5-year career over there. But this purpose thing was like, okay, do something. I loved AirAsia because it was helping people fly, right? Foreign workers, domestic workers that are working in Malaysia, Indonesia, able to fly back home, right? In a very affordable price. And that's when I was connected to Brian, who is the founder of Ksher. And he's a younger guy. I'm the oldest guy in the company by far. Probably, Margo, I'm old enough to be your dad, but we won't get into that. And Brian also had this, very Zen-like personality about helping the SMEs. Okay, so we and also helping people that under normal circumstances are marginalized. So that's the philosophy about why Ksher was started. And to share a little bit about our journey, company was formed in 2016. And we started off in Bangkok. Why did we start off in Bangkok? Because we were solving the problem of Chinese travelers who travel around the world. And as you know, China is a very cashless society. Everybody uses QR code, Alipay or WeChat Pay. Nobody uses cash. Nobody uses credit cards. But when they come to Southeast Asia, back in 2016, if you remember, I know India, Benny, is a different ballgame. You guys are pretty up there, right? But in Southeast Asia, digital adoption was still very low, right? It was still very cash based. So these Chinese visitors, travelers, and we started off in Thailand because Thailand is the number one destination for travelers, right, from China. There was no way for them to use scan QR codes. So there was a problem there that we wanted to solve. So we started to acquire those merchants, put in our solutions, and then drive up Chinese travelers spending in local stores, right? So, for example, in Thailand, you may have heard of the Central Group. It's like the C retail here. It's a large, so we put in our solutions there. We put in our solutions in McDonald's. So travelers will be able to scan their China QR codes and then consume, right? And then we would do all the back-end processing, cross-border, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, when COVID came, our business, nobody saw COVID coming, and that our businesses died because nobody was traveling, right? So that's when we pivoted into the new business model, which is the online sellers, B2B, B2C. So that's the kind of evolution of Ksher, but underpinning all of this is to help people. Phase one was helping travelers, not the sophisticated travelers, who know how to do currency exchange, they know how to use cash. It's helping the rest, the smaller travelers who come, who only know one way of paying, and we facilitate that in the region. And then now it's helping SMEs, as I spoke about earlier on, right, to be able to trade globally. So this is the evolution of Ksher and our Ksher story, which is really driven by the founders' values and purpose of really empowering SMEs. Yeah.
Thank you, Siva. That is beautiful. Benny,
Right.
I'm sure would love to share
Yes.
something about Zoho as
Yes.
well. Go ahead.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because the story of Zoho is very big. Because how it all began is Zoho Corporation, the company began by Zoho CRM. This has a unique and inspiring origin story that sets it apart from the many traditional tech giants, right? The humble beginning in 1996, Zoho was formed in 1996 by Sridhar Vembu. He is our chief scientist now, and Tony Thomas under the Advanet Inc. That was the company name before. And initially, the company focused on network management software for large telecom companies. And the business was bootstrapped, and meaning it is not take any external investor funding. That is an approach that remains a core principle till today. There is no external funding till today. And during the earlier struggles, the dot-com bubble in the late 1990s, the company grew steadily and then serving major enterprise clients. However, after the dot-com crash is earlier in 2000s, many companies cut their IT budgets, right? So Advanet to rethink its strategy. So instead of chasing large enterprises, the company decided to focus on small businesses, the medium business, SMBs. The game changed most, right? So the transition to Zoho and cloud-based software has happened in 2009, right? As a cloud computing giant popularity, Advanet shifted gears and launched Zoho CRM in 2005 itself as a competitor to Salesforce. So in 2009, Advanet officially rebranded as Zoho Corporation and making a full commitment to cloud-based business softwares. And the vision is so simple because unlike most Silicon Valley companies, Zoho followed a different path because there is no external investors, fully bootstrapped and focused on long-term growth, not driven to the short-term profits or IPO pressures. And we have the unique thing, which is the Zoho schools of learning. Even yesterday, I was talking to some of the students. I was talking about how sales happens, and they were very much interested on that. So instead of hiring only people from top universities, Zoho trains students from rural India and offer them a job. And today, a global tech leader, like we have more than 100 million users using our system worldwide. And we have 50 plus business software applications, including Zoho Payments, And we are collecting the payments in more than 180 countries through Zoho Books application. That is our finance application. Like even Shiva can integrate with our Zoho Books application as well, because to expand win-win situation for both strategic partnership. And when you talk about the software application, like 50 plus software application, this includes the Begin, which we are talking today, and then the Zoho CRM, the core CRM product for the enterprise and medium businesses, and the Zoho Books, the finance, and specifically the Zoho Desk, the desk management system. And we have 12 global offices and a strong presence in over 180 countries. There is a lot of story behind this, but the company is built on principles, the affordable, high quality software, and then employee first culture. And it's something unique. That is why I'm staying here for almost 15 years now. And before Zoho, I worked for many MNC companies. But when I entered into Zoho in 2009, end of 2009, till today I'm here. I'm a sales director now, and I'm peacefully running my sales life with Zoho. And it's all about bringing something which is relevant to your life conditions with your heartbreaking employee first culture. So I feel emotional when I talk about the company.
Thank you, Benny.
Yeah. It definitely comes out, right, Margot, in the way you describe the company. Yeah, that's nice story.
I mean, if I could take, the main takeaway that I had with this is, like with everything else, it begins with purpose, with principle. So I'm very happy, and we're very privileged to hear about your stories and your personal beginnings as well. So I'm sure that's also something that our listeners are very happy to hear about, that there's real, genuine people behind companies who care about them and their needs as business owners. Thank you again, Benny, Siva. So, okay, so my next question is, there are so many other providers out there, but why should people consider you out of the other providers out there in the market?
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question, because there's a lot of competitors why people want to choose us. As I explained before, why Begin by Zoho CRM should be a top of mind for businesses seeking a simple CRM solution. The purpose why it is built is for the small businesses. So the quick setup and easy to use, affordable yet powerful, which are all the things which we did already. And the main thing is it is built by Zoho. Yeah, trusted global brands, because Zoho has been in the business for almost 25 years now. When I say we have 100 million users, we know what CRM is. We know what CRM small business needs for the CRM. So we'll get a feedback from all of our users, and we are just encouraging them to use some of the top unique things. And when I say Zoho is privately owned, meaning it prioritizes long-term customer success over short-term profits. So Begin seamlessly integrates with other products and the popular third-party products, which I mentioned about, like Google Workplace and all the stuff. And a CRM that grows with you, that is the most important thing, right? Because many businesses start small but need to scale over time. So with Begin, you can just get lightweight CRM that we can upgrade to Zoho CRM whenever your business expands. And if you're going millions and millions of revenue, then you can use some of our bundle products called CRM Plus and Zoho One, which is unique for all the businesses, from the website from your email, going online, Zoho Commerce, everything is in a bundle on that. So from the day one as an entrepreneur, and then if you establish your company and you develop yourself, we have a solution for everything. So you don't want to go out of Zoho to use all of that. So you have to grow along with the CRM. The CRM will help you to grow along with you. So why give Begin a chance is, if you are a small business looking for a small, that's simple, affordable, and effective, Begin is your answer. And if not just software, it's a tool that helps to transform how you manage your business and engage with the customers. So that's a simple task. Yes.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you. That's a no-brainer. Thank you so much for telling us about your competitive edge. Siva, you have something to share about Ksher as well.
Yeah. So I think for us, when you are in a business of rapid, high velocity money flows from different countries, from China to back, anything that touches China in and out, there is always this concern about AML, anti-money laundering, sadly, terrorism financing, suspicious fraud. So there's a lot of regulations that are beginning to tighten down, right? And previously, a lot of SMEs are very resilient people. You guys are resilient people, and you will try and find a way. And you work. Sometimes they work through middlemen, unauthorized. We call it the hawala, the gray market, right? And I won't, different. I won't call out, but different players in the whole ecosystem of a buy and a sell cross border will step in to provide solutions at a very high price. Okay, but thankfully, and I say this with very much happiness, that regulations have tightened. Bank accounts are frozen if suddenly a bunch of money comes in there without proper paper trail, right? So this push towards legalized solution providers is helping us a lot. Okay, Ksher advantage is that through a single integration, you are able to sell and buy from different countries, not just one Southeast Asian country. You can even do from Indonesia or Thailand. So we have offices, we are licensed in all of these countries, right? In order to be able to provide these solutions. So the peace of mind, we have our competitors are also in the region, but because, as you know, I said earlier on, Southeast Asia is extremely fragmented. People sitting outside Southeast Asia look at it and say, "Oh, there is this 700 million addressable market of young people with the propensity to spend." But when they come here, they find out that it's actually, 10 economies, 10 currencies, 10 languages, 10 regulations, 10 central banks, right? So how are you going to do that? So we took that hard decision that let us build a truly Southeast Asian integrated market by being licensed, by doing things properly. So maybe some competition have already launched in the larger markets, but they don't have as much coverage as what we do. So that's from the regulatory assurances that SMEs can fall onto. And then let's not forget the people that are partnering with us, right? So we have international banks, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank. I mean, they don't just onboard and move money for without doing proper due diligence. So the fact that these international banks have partnered with us to assist us with the banking infrastructure and the money rail flows should give some assurance to SMEs as to why we kind of differentiate from the market. And then finally, which is I just can't keep going enough about, and people will may accuse me of working for Alibaba. I'm not. Is that the fact that in all of Southeast Asia, if an SME chooses to pay by bank transfer because he or she doesn't have a credit card, those solutions, the backend is powered by Ksher. So all of a sudden now we are able to. Alibaba is happy because they will have more transactions. But for us, coming back to our purpose, is we are now enabling more SMEs, smaller SMEs, the MSMEs, the micro SMEs, right, to be able to source goods and trade. So these are the two segments of the market where I think Ksher has demonstrated, an edge, if you like. And why, therefore, SMEs should try us if they haven't already.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Siva.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for for telling us exactly, some more about what makes the company stand out. Because again, there are different kinds of providers doing very different things, and it's always nice to know exactly what makes the the providers stand out. And thank you. So now is the time for you guys to share your exclusive offers for the PHILSME community. So my next question is, Benny, Siva, what is your exclusive offer for the PHILSME community?
Sure, go ahead,
So
please.
yeah, so this must be a local cultural thing, right? So my response to that, Margot, is this: we will always give SMEs from wherever the best deal. Okay, we work very hard to negotiate low rates and provide it to the SMEs. Yeah, so there are people have already started on with us. I think if I can share an email address for people to come up to us, that would be. So shall I type it or should I just say
You
it
can
out
say it
here?
out loud, and then we'll put that in the episode description so our listeners can get that offer.
Yeah. Please email Manel, Margo, you've met
Email
Manel,
Manel.
right? Our country manager. Yeah, at info.ph@ksher.com. So info.ph at Ksher, spelled KSHER.com. And promise we will, we'll give you the best deals and really, enable you to trade. And I think the exclusive offer is that we're opening up Alibaba, the largest global marketplace, which is only normally accessed by those larger SMEs, to everyone, right? So this is a deal for all of the MSMEs. So I'm expecting the email to be flooded.
It's a steal. It will be a steal. So please email the amazing Manel, who is also from Ksher Payments. Thank you, Siva. Do you have anything more to add on to
Yes.
that, or should you take over?
No. Please, Benny.
Yes. So yeah, this is our fourth time we are participating in Expo, because we got a very good response from the beginning. And earlier, we have just tripled our customer base in the Philippines. This expos might be one of the reasons for that. And our CEO, Mani Weber, used to say that there is a bottleneck in a software industry where a lot of small businesses are struggling to implement an application for their businesses, and they're spending a lot of money for that, right? So we, as a platform, we are ready to offer a system as a platform which is be ready to use from the day one, and we are going to do that for the clients, and we are going to give a free consultation for all of the prospects who are just visiting our booth, and we have a special wallet credits for them as well, as usual, and we will be revealing them during the presentation and during the participation. And the PHILSME is always special for Zoho, specific for Begin, because the market and even though most of the stalls is a competitor for Zoho, but still we get a lot of inquiries than what you do in ACOs, right? So that is more unique here. So we are here happy to offer something great, good, by case, based on the customer experience. They are happy to welcome.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Siva, for your wonderful generosity. And to our listeners, I highly, highly encourage you to check out Zoho and Ksher Payments for all of your needs. Thank you. So, Benny, Siva, we've heard so much about you today. My next question will be about you. So, out of the many lessons that you have learned in your life and in your business, what would be that one thing that you'd like to share to the world?
Okay, so why did the CRM system break up with business? That is because it felt unappreciated. So no one ever followed up. So that's the reason. So we need some system to take this up. So take a CRM. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Benny. That's a wonderful takeaway. Siva, do you have anything to add on to that?
Yeah. So I the advice that I always give people, and I've had almost 30 years of experience, right? Is the same advice I give my two sons, which is always look forward to jump on the next learning curve. don't, a learning curve is like this S curve, right? So it starts off flat when you're trying to understand the business and learn, and then suddenly you are growing, and it's like growing. That's really the fun part, right? Where you're solving problems, and then it begins to plateau when you've either reached market saturation or what's the next big thing to do. And a lot of people on that S curve, when they get to the plateau at the top, they're already maybe, 10 years in the company or 15 years. Not you, Benny. You guys are doing some really cool stuff. So you can be there until 25 and still innovating, I'm sure. But for most, I'm talking about corporations, right? MNCs and all that. That's the time when you're comfortable as well, right? So that's the time for you to jump onto a new learning curve. And when you advise your children, you can tell them all the advice, but if you don't walk the talk, they don't do it. So I have done that as well. And so, even in my 50s, my wife said, you were crazy. What are you, jumping? Your Air Asia was great. You're a bit of a rock star in Air Asia. Why you want to go and join this? But it's, again, it pushes yourself, right? And Richard Branson, I'll just end with one quote. Richard Branson, who was an entrepreneur who had an airline called Virgin Airlines in the UK. He had a record store, and, because I'm into music as well. His advice was like, whenever somebody offers you to do something, or offers you a job, or offers you an assignment, trust your instinct, say yes, and then figure out how to do it later on. Don't let your natural, barrier say, oh, I don't know about aviation. So although I'd like to work in AirAsia, but I shouldn't be. Don't debate too much in your head, right? So this is my advice to a lot of the SMEs. And I think the SMEs are doing that. And that's why they deserve to become big and great, right? That's my takeaway and my advice to all of you, my children.
That's fantastic, Shiva. That's great one.
That is amazing. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Siva. So we're almost at the end of the interview. So we would just like to end it with something that could make our listeners and viewers laugh or smile. So we just wanted to ask you, do you have a business joke to share with us, or something witty, something funny to end the interview?
Yeah. So, question, guys. Why did the scarecrow become an entrepreneur? I thought it's quite appropriate, right? Because most SMEs are entrepreneurs. Why did the scarecrow become an entrepreneur? Can you guess, Margot or Benny?
Go ahead, Benny.
No guess.
That's really tricky. Go ahead, Siva. We want to know.
Looking for an easy way to connect with your customers? Benchmark Email makes email marketing simple and powerful. Create stunning emails, reach your audience effortlessly, and see real results. Start for free today and discover how easy it can be. Visit benchmarkemail.com and let's grow your business together.
What does success mean to you? A corner office or an office around the corner? With Regis, you can work close to home and still be successful worldwide. To find your ideal Regis office, co-working space, or meeting room at more than 38 locations in the Philippines, visit regis.com.
Because he was outstanding in his field. Did it? Scarecrow standing like that, yeah, outstanding in his field. So he became an entrepreneur.
Thank you, Siva.
I know it's a bit cheesy, but it works, right? It kind of on the theme of entrepreneurship and yeah. Benny, I'm sure you have a better one than mine.
Of course. Actually, the thing is, I'm not having any jokes here, but the thing is, whenever we used to talk to the small businesses, right? So before they ask for what your solutions do, they'll ask for a discount. So that might be an advice or the joke, like, hey, how much percent do you offer a discount? So, hey, are you a truck driver, or what is the profession you are? For what you're going to use a system? Then we can talk about commercials, right? So that is unique joke, like we used to get, like directly going and talking about the pricing and discounts. That's a funny part always. Yeah.
Thank you, Benny. That's really funny. As also someone working in sales, and Siva, I think you find humor in that as well. So thank you, Benny, Siva, for being such wonderful guests of the PHILSME Business Show. So thank you. That concludes actually the end of our interview. So my next question is, Benny, Siva, will we see you at the next PHILSME Business Expo?
For sure. Yes. Yes.
Look,
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Thank you,
Yes.
Benny, Siva. So this wraps up our conversation on the business solution that Zoho and Ksher
Thank you.
Payments offer for
Namaste.
SMEs like you.
Namaste.
If you wish to know more about the PHILSME Business Network and the PHILSME Business Expo, just go to www.philsme.com. Until the next episode.